I have mentioned you that this PDGF, platelet derived growth factors, which is also known as the ODGF, osteosarcoma derived growth factors, or glioma derived growth factor, GDGF. This growth factor is a proteinaceous. Okay, and this growth factor is found in three different forms, which you know here, which I have already mentioned: PDGF-A, PDGF-B, and PDGF-AB. And the PDGF-A and PDGF-B are found in homodimeric form, and PDGF-AB is found in heterodimeric form. And as far the receptors of these growth factors are concerned, these growth factors have their receptor located in the cell membranes of all the animal cells, and these receptors are a type of the protein tyrosine kinase, which in this case is the receptor tyrosine kinase. And as for your information, I have told you that the receptor molecules are also of three different types depending on the presence of the polypeptide chains: alpha alpha receptors, alpha beta beta receptors, and alpha beta receptors. And just I have told you, and I have discussed here, that PDGF A can bind only with its receptor having alpha alpha chain. Look at the whiteboard. And just I have written here, the PDGFA binds to only alpha alpha dimeric form. PDGFB binds to all the three types of the receptors: alpha alpha receptors, beta beta receptors, and alpha beta receptors. But the PDGFAB binds to alpha alpha and alpha beta dimers. So the growth factor, the PDGF growth factor, which are found in three different forms: PDGF-AA, PDGF-AB, PDGF-AB. So PDGF-A, PDGF-B, and PDGF-AB have their binding site located in the cell membranes, and which is RTKs, and the receptors may be consisting of the two identical subunits: alpha alpha dimer, or alpha beta beta dimer, or alpha beta dimer. So this PDGF-A binds to only alpha alpha dimer, whereas the PDGF-B binds to all the three types of the receptors, including alpha alpha, beta beta, and alpha beta dimers. Whereas the PDGF-AB, which is heterodimeric form, binds to only alpha alpha and alpha beta receptor. So this is the very interesting features of this growth factor as far their binding with their receptor is concerned. And now, what are the properties of these two main types of the growth factor? Now look at the PDGFA. PDGFA consists of the two polypeptide. The PDGFA. Let us at first discuss PDGFA. PDGFA consists of the polypeptide chain. The mature PDGFA consists of the polypeptide chain consisting of 125 amino acids, and it is derived from its precursor having 211 polypeptide chains. Okay. Similarly, the second unit consists of the PPC, a polypeptide chain having 110 amino acid, which is derived from its precursor consisting of 196 amino acid. And you all know that the precursor of any growth factors undergoes proteolytic cleavage to form the mature polypeptide chain. So in this way, mature PDGFA consists of 125 amino acid, and it is derived from a precursor polypeptide chain consisting of 211 amino acid, which undergoes proteolytic cleavage to form a mature one, which is consisting of 125. Similarly, the second unit may be consisting of second unit consists of 110 amino acid, which is derived from its precursor consisting of 196 amino acid. What is the molecular weight of this polypeptide PDGFA? The molecular weight of PDGFA varies from 14 to 18 kilodalton. The PDGFA the PDGFA is more active than PDGFB, as I have just mentioned here. Now look at the PDGFB. The mature PDGFB polypeptide chain consists of 109 amino acids, which is derived from its precursor consisting of 241 amino acids. The The PDGF receptor, as far the PDGF receptor, we have already studied here, discussed. And what are the applications of these growth factors? This growth factor, the PDGF acts as a mitogen. ये mitogenic agent की तरह काम करता है. This PDGF acts as a mitogen for connective tissue cell. Connective tissue जो है connective tissue के cells के लिए. This growth factor PDGF acts as a mitogen for the connective tissue cells, and it also helps in the wound healing. The second very important function of this application of this growth factor is that these growth factors act as the autocrine and paracrine growth factor for some malignant cells, and this growth factor also act as the autocrine and paracrine growth factors for some malignant cell. This growth factor also acts as chemoattractant for the fibroblast, smooth muscle cells, and the neutrophils. So these are the three very important functions or functions of this growth factor. Again, I am repeating, this growth factor acts as a mitogen for the connective tissue cells. It also helps in the wound healing. This growth factor acts as autocrine and paracrine growth factors for the malignant cells. Beside this growth factor also acts as a chemoattractant for the fibroblast and smooth muscle cells, and also for the neutrophils. And this growth factor is being used as a growth factor meant for the initiation of the proliferation of the animal cells in the culture medium. And not only this growth factor is also very important for the growth and maintenance of the animal cell growing in the culture medium. And this growth factor is very important growth factor, like the other growth factors you have studied, like EGF and epidermal growth factor and nerve growth factor and fibroblastic growth factor. And this is the fourth growth factor which you are studying today. So I just want to repeat or point out some very important features of this growth factor. Just I have told you that this growth factor is a platelet derived growth factor. It is also known as ODGF, osteosarcoma derived growth factors, or glioma derived growth factor. This is extracellular growth factor. This growth factor consists of 2 polypeptide chains, and these 2 polypeptide chains have 60% homology. And on the basis of the types of the polypeptide chain present in these growth factors, these growth factors are of 2 types: homodimeric form and heterodimeric form. The homodimeric form include the PDGF-A and PDGF-B. PDGF-A consists of the 2 alpha polypeptide chain, whereas the PDGF-B consists of 2 beta polypeptide chain, whereas the heterodimeric form include the PDGF-AB, which consists of 1 alpha subunits and another beta subunits. As far the chemical constitution of the PDGF-A is concerned, the mature PDGF-A consists of 125 amino acids, which is derived from its precursor having 211 polypeptide chains. Its molecular weight varies from 14 to 18 kDa. This PDGF-A is more active in comparison to the PDGF-B. The PDGF-B consists of the mature PDGF-B consists of the polypeptide chain consisting of 109 amino acids, and which is derived from its precursor having 241 amino acids. The PDGF receptor, the receptor for this PDGF is located in the cell membrane of all the animal cells, which is a type of RTK receptor, tyrosine kinase, and this the receptor for this growth factor is also found in dimeric form, and this receptor may be in the form of alpha receptor, alpha beta receptors, and beta receptors. And the binding of this growth factor is also variable, because the PDGFA can bind with PDGFA can bind to only alpha dimer. PDGFB can bind to all the 3 types of receptor like alpha beta and beta dimer, whereas the PDGF-AB bind to alpha and alpha beta dimer. And as far its role is concerned, I have already discussed that this growth factor acts as a mitogen for the connective tissue cell. This growth factor acts as autocrine and paracrine growth factors for malignant cell. These growth factors act as the chemoattractant for the fibroblast, smooth muscle cells, and neutrophils. So this is the growth factor we have studied today. Am I clear to all of you? Anis?
Yes, sir.
ये growth factors